Astros today were met with the media at spring training. Alex Bregman, Jose Altuve, Jim Crane, George Springer, the lot of them. They finally spoke about the sign stealing scandal. Here's what Bregman had to say. It was a very short, obviously rehearsed statement that Bregman gave talking about what happened back in 2017.
I am really sorry about the choices that were made by my team, by the organization, and by me. I have learned from this, and I hope to regain the trust of baseball fans. I would also like to thank the Astros fans for all of their support. We as a team are totally focused on moving forward to the 2020 season. Thank you.
So that's what Bregman had to say. Altuve followed, and so did Jim Crane, the owner. What was your reaction when you saw that from Bregman? And admittedly, the first time I heard it, I was not watching. I was listening. And listening, the impression was he's slowly reading from a sheet of paper, and it almost feels like it's a bleep you kind of delivery. Watching it, you could tell he was not reading a sheet of paper, but it was obviously something that he had rehearsed and was taking his time to think his way through. Maybe something he prepared or was prepared by Astros PR. I do, in a way, I do feel for Alex, because with something like this, context does matter. And yeah, I'm going to admittedly going to bat for the LSU guy, but in 2017, that was his first full season. Remember, he got the late call up in 2016, and then 2017 was his first full season. So when you've got veteran guys like Beltran and even young veterans like Altuve and Correa, I mean, you're kind of following their lead in some respects. The guy that spoke up that I was most surprised was Justin Verlander, who at that point in his career, he's a veteran who gets traded to Houston partway through the 2017 season. And Verlander said he wishes he had done more to try to stop what was happening. Quote, once I spent some time and understood what was happening, I wish I had said more. I can't go back and reverse my decision. I wish I had said more, and I didn't. It feels like it was something that everybody was in on and nobody spoke up about. But I will say this specifically about Bregman. And I have not told this on air, but I will today because I want to vouch for his character. A lot of you know that Alex came on the show for a good bit in 2016. He had been drafted second overall by the Astros, and he was wanting to start to do some media. And, of course, willing. He was in Corpus at the time. He wasn't Alex Bregman as he is now, but here, people revered Alex Bregman, still do. And so I was thrilled to do that when he came on the show weekly. But before then is when he, in my opinion, showed to me anyway, his character. And I've told people candidly off air, and I've never said this on air, but if Alex Bregman decided never to swing a bat again for the rest of his life and decided to go live in the mountains as a monk, I'd still love the guy. And this is the part I think that most of you, if you're a parent, you can relate to. I'm not saying if you're not a parent, you can't, but you'll understand what I'm about to say. A lot of you know our family's history with Drew, and Drew was very sick, and we spent 9 months in Houston, and we came back with Drew in February of 2015. And less than a year later, the following December, Drew had a recurrence of the issue that threatened his life as a newborn. And we had to go back to Texas Children's Hospital and have another surgery, and it was very involved and a lot of stuff. That coincided with a fundraiser that our friend Jacques Doucet, WAFB, did for Drew. And he did it at the Varsity. They did a rock concert. I think he called it Red Rock and Drew. And I'm always humbled when people offer to help your kid. And at that point, Bregman had not yet started his pro career, but he had been drafted second overall. And I really only knew him casually. But that was a Friday night, and he showed up at the Varsity. We weren't there. We were in Houston. He showed up at the varsity that night, unsolicited. He signed autographs. He helped raise money, all for our family. And this is the part that if you're a parent, you'll be able to relate to. When somebody does something to help your kid, there's a level of gratitude that's just impossible to describe. Because as a parent, all you want to do is protect your kids and give them the best opportunity in life to be whatever they can be. And sometimes there are things that you can't help with. And it could be anything. It could be a teacher spending time after school to help tutor your child to get them a better grade, or a coach spending that time with your kid to help them make the team, or whatever it may be. And we had so many people that were so generous to our family during the worst time of our life, and offered us love and support and prayers and financial contributions and a lot of things that quite honestly we couldn't provide. And Alex was one of those people. And for that, I'm forever grateful to the guy. Whether he's a great baseball player or not, to me, is wholly irrelevant. For me, I learned his character then. And like I said, I've never said this on air because there's no reason to say this on air. It's a personal thing. But I hope that there's some people hearing this, and I understand most LSU fans are going to be partial to Alex anyway. But I hope there's people that hear this today that otherwise, might have been on the fence and realize that is a good dude. And he is believable. And he is from good people. And his parents are awesome people, and they're a great family, and he genuinely wants to do right by other people. And whatever happened in 2017 with sign stealing or whatever, there's so many mixed opinions about the degree of it, how much impact it might have actually had. I mean, you hear a guy like Will Clark who poo-pooed the whole thing, and there's a lot of veterans that have done that as well. To each their own. But if you're questioning the integrity of the person, I hope you wouldn't, because that part is, in my opinion anyway, my experience is solid. So hopefully they all just get on with baseball, and baseball is better for having had this exposed and is better moving forward.